what happened yesterday. They think that they can fix what happened throughout the second half of the 2025 season by issuing a letter to fans. I'm going to read the letter, and then you're going to be able to comment here on what you think of the letter as I comment to you what I think about the letter. I don't think the letter is going to make you much happier than did the Carlie Irsay-Gordon media appearance yesterday, which did not make me happy. It didn't make me sad. It just made, I thought, you got to be kidding. What are we doing? Honest to God, what kind of idiots do you take us for? That's what I thought as I was listening. We'll see what I think as I read. We're going to talk about that. We'll talk about some questions about the Indianapolis Colts. We will talk about Indiana football, and I will show you what we are giving away. We're not going to give it away. These are sewn-on letters, and the sewn-on number 1, Big Ten logo. This is unbelievable. This, I don't know if you can see the price tag on this, but this is damn expensive. This was the most expensive thing they had today at Simon Skjodt Assembly Hall. As people waited out front for a rally towel, there were over 150 people out there at 3:45, and I think they start giving them away like right now, or have started. It was either at 5:30 or 5 o'clock, but there were a ton of people out there waiting for these things. What we got today, we're also going to give away this hoodie, which is beautiful, unbelievable. We are going to give away this t-shirt, which was also at Simon Skjodt Assembly Hall. Got the Mendoza Heisman t-shirt, and we're going to give this away, although I worry about how to get this to people. I'm going to have to roll it up and put it in some kind of a tube, but it's one of these great game day posters that are drawn, and this is about grounding the Ducks, Peach Bowl edition. Game will be played on Friday, my sister's birthday, January 9th. Of course, the Hoosiers would not, although she didn't attend Indiana. I can't believe that Indiana would lose on my sister's birthday. So we're going to give all of these things away at some point, but none of them today. We're going to give this bad boy away when Indiana wins the national championship. Indiana wins the national championship as part of the post-game celebration a week from this Monday night. We're going to give away this absolutely gorgeous jersey, which will fit anybody. Jerseys got to be loose. They got to be a little bit blousy. So I got a XX. If you're a biggin, this is for you. Brad, a member for 4 months. Awesome. Hey, Ken, I had a shirt made for you. You can keep it yourself or you can give it as a prize. That's awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. This is Inside Indiana Sports Now for Tuesday, January 6th, 2026, brought to you by, I have not messed up the year once, which is unbelievable. That's a lot of days in a row of getting the day right, the day of the year. Brought to you by the great people at Today's Dentistry, Dr. Mike O'Neill, the best dentist I've ever gone to, the only dentist I've gone to the last 33 years. Make him your last dentist. Give him a call, 317-849-2933. Ask for Julie. Tell her that Ken told you to call. Become a member today. The membership money, a lot of it goes to the upkeep of the channel, and it goes to fine frocks like this that we give away, prizes. Members do a lot to offset the cost for these. I really appreciate it. And we do a Saturday Coffee with Kent that you are more than welcome to attend and join in on. That's usually 9 o'clock in the morning or so on Saturdays. Glad to have you here. Maybe this Saturday will be a little bit later because of the Peach Bowl on Friday night. Hello, Kent. Hope you had a great day, sir. I did have a great day, Evan. I hope you had a great day. Charles, you have a great day. Thank you. And on Julie's behalf, have a great day. Matt Eberflus, he got fired by the Cowboys. Careers go like this, and then they go like that. That's the way they go. Matt Eberflus, now everybody has figured out what we knew for a long time here in Indianapolis. Can we hire Rivers as our OC? He won't do it. He doesn't need the money. He doesn't need the aggravation. What he does need is to be able to coach his son, who I believe is either going to be a junior in high school or is currently a junior in high school. Toby says, Harbaugh fired, yet Ballard and Steichen are safe. Harbaugh being fired, you know what? It's been a long time up there. It doesn't make a great deal of sense. And then Mike Tomlin was asked today about if the Ravens had made the field goal that could have won the game for them. And he said, hey, it's like if my aunt had male parts, she'd have been my uncle. You can't fire that guy ever. A guy that good with the media, never, right? Are we worried about Lou getting head coach, or would we be okay with that? I don't think we're worried about anything at this point, losing anything. Anybody leaves, I think it could wind up being a net positive. That's kind of where we are. Shane seems too nice. We need Rivers' locker room fire. Shane is nice. And Rivers is actually nice, more often than not. By retaining Ballard, do you think Carlie ruined credibility with fans? She's going to have to earn it back. I don't know whether it was ruined, not like forever. Become a subscriber. You must be a subscriber. If you want to win this, to be eligible to win, you must be a subscriber. We got a hoodie, we got a t-shirt, I showed you, we got the poster. You want to win? You got to be a subscriber. We're giving away one of these things tomorrow morning because I want you to have it for the Peach Bowl. We'll definitely give away the poster tomorrow morning, and we'll probably give away something else with it. But we got to pulse these out a little bit because I think that they're going to win the national championship. We'll see. I don't want to get arrogant. I don't want to turn into like the Bama fans, all right? But you've got to be a subscriber, and it costs nothing to subscribe. You got to be a subscriber to win, and you have to use the phrase that pays in a comment in order to enter. That's your entry. Eligibility, subscriber. Entry, go IU. So comment, go IU. Oh, I like that. The Indiana backwards, but there's one too many N's in there, unless I saw that incorrectly. Make sure and smash that like button. If you like prizes, smash that like button. And if you want to make a donation, no big whoop, but please include a comment or a question that elevates the level of discourse on the channel. Need a young, mean, nasty, smart guy to be DC? Go IU, go IU. It costs me about 40 minutes a day to be a subscriber. So there you go. And it's optional. You don't have to watch every video. All right, here's the letter from ownership. From Carlie, Casey, and Kalen. All right, dear Colts fans, like you, we're without a doubt frustrated with the final results of the season. Until we win consistently, claim the division, and reach the playoffs, we're not meeting the high standard we all expect out of our team. That's first paragraph. What high standard is that you're holding people to account for? What would that be? You've had the same general manager for 9 years not winning the division once. How is he being held to that standard, given the fact that there has been no consequence for him or to him for not succeeding? You are tolerating mediocrity. The letter should read, like you, we're without a doubt frustrated with the final results of the season, but not frustrated enough to do anything about it moving forward. What we're doing is writing letters and talking to the media and telling people that we need to be more urgent next year. That is how we're going to win, by raising the level of urgency. It's not what they said. We continue with the letter as they wrote it. I got mad there just for a second. I should not get mad. At the same time, there were many moments in 2025 that led us to believe we can achieve sustained success. That's why we're confident about the blueprint Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen created last year, and why we're confident they can build on the progress we saw early on this season. Why would you believe in that blueprint for sustained success when even this year the success was not sustained? Why would you believe that what you've got going here is going to result in sustained success when this success wasn't sustained? Based upon what is that belief? Last offseason, our dad challenged our entire organization to fix the issues preventing us from reaching the playoffs. Chris and his team responded by taking a different approach to building the roster. We were aggressive in free agency. We acquired a quarterback who helped lead our offense to a historic start. Yes. We found talent in the draft, and we traded for a premier cornerback. All true. All right? I got no problem with that paragraph at all. Can you believe it? The philosophy paid immediate dividends, but our fast start to the season makes missing the playoffs sting even more. It also gave us a look at what's possible when we have the right components in place. Replicating that success and extending it throughout the season and into the playoffs will be our goal. We know many fans want change now, and we hear, respect, and understand the frustration. Make no mistake, the urgency to succeed and win has never been higher. Okay, I got a question about that. Why not? Why, after 9 years of mediocrity, going to the playoffs twice, winning one playoff game, never hosting a playoff game? So, and a record in those 9 years under 500, if you excuse 2017, a record just below 500. That if anybody has set a standard of mediocrity and is hitting that standard, it's the Indianapolis Colts. But why is the urgency to succeed and win never been higher than it is right now? Why would that have been the case in 2019 or 2021 or 22 or 23 or 24 or then 25? Urgency you can control. I don't even know what urgency looks like with this organization. What I do know is that they are willing to tolerate employees who have carved a very special niche of mediocrity for this franchise. Patrick says, if talking about urgency, maybe Carlie should play Urgent from Foreigner every day during the offseason. So Ballard and Steichen know Carlie is serious. Does this mean Ballard going to sign free agents? Well, he's got to sign his own first, and then how much money is he going to have? If he has to sign Daniel Jones to a deal worth $35 million a year or $33 million a year, something like that, and he's got to sign Alec Pierce to a deal worth $20 to $22 million a year, I don't know how many free agents from over there they're going to be able to sign to come here. And given the fact that this is like a short-term deal, unless people are coming only for money, why would they come here? None of these people are going to be here in a year unless there is a historic turnaround in fortunes. I interrupted myself with the urgency thing. We believe we can compete for the division and a playoff berth next season and into the future. In the meantime, thank you for supporting the Horseshoe through what has been a challenging year on and off the field. We wish you all a wonderful and prosperous 2026. Sincerely, Carlie Irsay-Gordon, Casey Foyt, and Kalen Jackson. Okay, I don't even have a problem with evoking the memory of Jim, because Jim's an important guy. Jim's really important, obviously, to his daughters. He's an important guy in the community. He's an important guy with the Indianapolis Colts franchise, obviously important. So this has been challenging for them. But it's time to wake the hell up, smell the coffee, and do your job as leaders of this franchise. It's time to do that. You're good at making money. Can you be good at running a franchise? Will you have a hard-hitting question for Ballard? I don't know. The way they've scheduled that thing, like my radio show ends at 11. They've scheduled that thing for 11 on Thursday. I'm going to try to figure out how I can do two things at once. We'll see if I can do it. If anybody can do it, it's me. But what I do during those things is I listen. And if I have a question, like a follow-up needs to be asked that's not being asked, I ask it. That's what I do. Because those guys, like Steven and Joel and Kevin and James and those guys, Chap, all those guys, like they got a job to do. They need answers to specific questions to write their columns. And so as I listen, if there is something that needs to be asked, I will ask it. I promise you that. Why Lance have AR and Leonard? I don't know what that means, Wolfgang. Go IU because the Colts are delusional if they think Ballard can save this franchise. The one good thing is the schedule. We've talked about the schedule. Like, the schedule is pretty favorable. An aggregate 15 under 500 are the teams that the Colts are going to play, and that includes the two teams with the best record that the Colts play against, both in the AFC South, have to play both of them twice, the Texans and the Jaguars. If Ballard can fix this, he will certainly go down in history. It would be exceptionally odd for a team to win in a 10th season. That would be a weird thing for a general manager. Generally, you know what you got, right? Are they going to tear this apart? I don't know why you would ask the guy who built it to then tear it apart and just break his heart as he runs around cutting guys that he drafted and guys who he seemingly loves. Why would you put a guy in that position? Better just spare him that, don't you think? Barstow Media says last year Ballard got annoyed with the end of the year questions. Do you guys turn on a guy who loses 9 years in a row and then acts put out by the media? We don't turn on anybody. We just try to get facts out of people so you can evaluate them. We understand our role in that room and that we are emissaries of you. That's what we do. We ask questions that you have. James Boyd's really good about it. He puts out a thing on X all the time. Hey, send me a serious question that I can ask on your behalf. He means it. He's done it. So do it. I'll ask a question. You can comment with any question you want to have asked. And if at some point I feel like it's the appropriate thing to ask, I'll ask a question. You know that. Did the field goal kicker for the Jags break the all-time field goal record, both indoors and outdoors? I believe he did. I think he had 68 indoors and 67 outdoors. This is, look, if you can get the ball on a touchback at the 35 and only really need to move it 15 yards to get into field goal range, football's a goofy game at that point. I don't think they can extend the field like I want them to in the NBA and college. I want them to broaden the field. I want it to be wider. I want them to go 10 feet wider. I know that cuts out some seats and changes sort of the configuration of the arena, but I think it's time. Corner threes, I'm done watching corner threes. I don't want to see corner threes shot one after another after another. The game has changed to a point, the NBA now, where it's really a hard watch for me because of all the corner threes. I think it's ridiculous. As you mentioned earlier, John Harbaugh fired as the coach of the Baltimore Ravens. I didn't think that had happened. I thought he's done. I know I spend some time and energy crapping on the Harbaugh brother, Jim, and then Tom Crean, the brother-in-law. But John Harbaugh has always seemed like a straight-up guy who could flat coach. Didn't make it about him. And so I have a lot of respect for John Harbaugh. I am really, really surprised that he got canned. Indiana football, 72 hours basically, really it's 74 hours until the Peach Bowl, when the Hoosiers go up against Oregon. Oregon, they got some health issues, right? Running back is going to be down with a broken clavicle. You've got a couple of DBs who are hurt. For Indiana, you got Stephen Daly, who's hurt. And fortunately, like the Hoosiers ought to be pretty well rested because they got over on Bama in a historic way. Didn't have to play everybody, 60 snaps. That's a good thing. Timmy Steen says 9-27 against winning teams with Shane. He's just as bad as Ballard. This leadership isn't about winning. It's about coddling players and feelings. I don't believe that about Shane. I think Shane can be a winning NFL head coach. I do. I felt the same thing about Nick Sirianni. And sadly, he was a guy in the building, right? I don't understand the reluctance of people in charge to say, you know what? I got a guy right here who I think is going to be a hell of a head coach. Why don't we elevate this cat instead of holding on to keeping him suppressed and waiting for somebody else to do it? I don't understand that. That was Frank Reich did what? I don't know what Frank Reich did. Pick up all undrafted Hoosiers. Just give it a whirl. I love the entire Indiana team. I would draft Surratt. I don't know what he's going to run a 40 in. Cooper, I think, is going to be interesting at the combine, assuming he comes out. You've got guys on the defensive side of the ball, whether it's D'Angelo Pons. I think Aiden Fisher is going to be a hell of an NFL linebacker and a hell of a special teams guy. You got a lot of guys on that team that can flat play. I think Coogan is an NFL-ready center. This is a good team. They're talented. People like to poo-poo the Indiana talent. The fact is that the number of stars you get as a high school recruit when you commit to a college, that's not the number of stars that you're going to leave college with. A lot of guys develop when they're in college. A lot of guys, like when I was a freshman in college, I went from being 5'11", 142 pounds when I got to IU. By the end of my senior year, or my freshman year, because I lifted weights and ate right and did all of that kind of crap, I was 6 feet tall and 174 pounds. That's 32 pounds that I put on. And it wasn't all fat. There was some fat. There's some beers involved, of course. That's not a bad way to gain weight, so I have shown. But that's what you do when you get to college. You're not the man you're going to be. There's some guys who get to college and they're men. And then there's some guys who have to kind of matriculate through college and they become men. That's what you see at Indiana. And Indiana is going to be tested by Oregon, but they're going to pass the test. And then they're going to play, I think, Miami. I think Miami winds up beating Ole Miss, and it's going to be the Hoosiers and Miami at Hard Rock Stadium, which is kind of a shame that somebody's going to have a home field advantage. Don't you think? Hard to defend AR on Sunday when Rivers and Jones were in attendance and AR wasn't anywhere to be found. I don't know whether he's okay to fly. I don't know what the whole deal is with the eye and that kind of changing pressures and whatnot. I don't know whether it's been recommended he doesn't do that. I don't know that he wasn't there. Like I saw Jones, they showed him up in the suite. I saw Rivers down on the field. I don't know. I'm not going to throw stones at a guy for not being there without knowing the reason. Anthony Richardson, like a lot of people like to crap on Anthony Richardson as though his standing in that locker room or in that organization and in the hearts of fans is somehow his own doing. He is a really good guy. That doesn't mean you keep him. I'm not saying you keep him. I'm not saying he should get an opportunity again to start. I'm not saying any of that. I'm not talking about the football guy. But assailing his character, I don't think I don't think we should go there. The Lord's disciple says, I'm not a Colts fan, but I'm interested in what you guys think of Riley Leonard. Are you expecting him to be the future of the franchise? I am not expecting him to be the future of the franchise. I think he's fine as a backup quarterback. Maybe he can ascend. Maybe he'll get an opportunity at some point, and he'll do what Davis Mills did down in Houston when C.J. Stroud had a concussion. He came in, he won 3 games. Maybe Riley Leonard can do that and get somebody to think of him kind of through a different kind of prism, where you look at him and you say, maybe he can be a starting quarterback. He certainly is the want to, and he certainly is the support of guys like Daniel Jones and Phillip Rivers. And that means something. And Shane Steichen. They like Riley Leonard, and they think he's going to be a 10-plus year guy in the NFL. Evan says, Kent is a diehard Hawkeyes fan from Iowa. I'm proud to say that I want the Hoosiers to win it all. The fans in the entire state deserves a natty. I couldn't agree more. And people here watching, you deserve this jersey. You don't get these. These are sewn-on numbers. I got this at Simon Scott Assembly Hall this afternoon. This bad boy, I'll tell you what it costs. I've got the receipt right here. Julie's going to lose her mind. $150 for this thing. Everything is sewn on, but the Adidas logo, which is kind of a rubberized thing. And then you get this. You got the tag down here. I think this is like a gamer. It doesn't have a name on it. It's number 1, and there you go. Love this thing. I'd like to keep it myself, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna give it away. In order to win it, you must be a subscriber. So subscribe. And in a comment, you have to use the phrase that pays, and that's Go IU. We're going to give away a prize tomorrow. One of the prizes will be this. I know the letters are backwards. Ground the Ducks. Every single game, you have one of these. You got the bison over here. You got the duck over there that's getting sucked into a jet engine. And you got Kurt Signetti sitting up here in the pilot's seat. Love this thing. We'll send it. We'll give it away tomorrow morning. We also have a T-shirt. We've got the Fernando Mendoza Heisman T-shirt from Assembly Hall. And then we've got this Indiana Hoosiers hoodie, which is sweet. And I got that today from Alumni Hall over on Kirkwood. So become a subscriber, comment with the phrase that pays, and you might just win. I will write your YouTube handle on a ticket. We will affix 10 new tickets to the incredible prize wheel. And tomorrow morning, we're going to start giving stuff away. There you go. You want to win an unbelievably cool jersey? Become a subscriber. Let's go. All right. VW Bobby right in under the wire. It's Robert from Montreal, another 8-win season and no change in Colts management. Year 10 for Ballard. Ownership seems clueless. Go IU. I kind of, at least they, if not clueless, they're tone deaf. Like they don't understand what people are thinking. What's going to like satisfy people. They don't understand that. And so we get a letter like this where they promise, but it's nothing but platitudes, and there are no specific promises for anything. I don't know what good this does. Like they want people to stop bothering them, I think. So they said, we issued a letter that corrected a lot of what we said in the press conference. Not really, it's just more urgency. But make no mistake, the urgency to succeed and win has never been higher. Why not? We'll talk to you tomorrow.